just like to say I look at this as an opportunity for us to move the district forward in restructuring our bilingual program, and also that we can have a faster transition of English, from Spanish to English for our students. So again, this is definitely an opportunity.
I also too want to restate what you just said, but adding to that, I do want to thank Mrs. Guerrero for her service. But this is a new way and a new step that we're going to try to implement in regards to having our kids transition from Spanish to English, which is what we believe we can do. But again, we do thank Mrs. Guerrero for her service and we need us to do.
I'd like to comment that we have one retirement, Mary Carolyn Oblanda, been with us for 13 years, social studies at Juarez Middle School. I'd like to thank her for her years of service. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion carried.
At this time, Madam President, I just would like to recognize Mrs. Renee Sams, who's in the audience. Mrs. Sams was appointed 2 years ago as the substitute principal, and Mrs. Elliott took on the position as the principal on special assignment. Mrs. Sams interviewed her position.
We have grant donations. We have none of those. Next item is approval of the minutes calendar.
It's the administration's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the attached amended 2006-2007 school year calendar as recommended by the administration. It's in your green folder that was given to you tonight. It's on blue paper, I believe. It's on that's the calendar there. And what happens is that when the calendar is changed from what you approved the last time, we have to have the state approve any amendments to that calendar. Because we have 2 snow days this year, we have to extend the school year. Yes.
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 Yes, motion carried. Next is the adoption of the amended policy 7.100.
It's the administration's recommendation that the Board of Education authorize a change in policy number 7.100 requiring proof of mandated immunizations and examinations to be presented prior to a student entering class.
I have a wait a minute.
Second by Mr. Vaughn. Question.
Okay, I don't have a problem approving it with the exception to item E, the hiring of a nurse. This is very ambiguous. Is this nurse going to be hired for one time only for this particular summer? Is this a permanent part-time position for the entire school year? It's very ambiguous. It does not answer that question. And additionally, we do not need a nurse to do immunization records and help people fill this form out at $33 an hour. This position can be filled at $12 an hour. I work in the health department. I know this for a fact because our nursing assistants do this for $12.84 an hour every single day.
We have Diane Grisho here, our district nurse. The position right now is solely from June 18th through August 17th, 3 4-hour shifts. And I can have her come forward and answer any other questions related to this.
This being the first year that this would be implemented, it's my recommendation to have a nurse who's familiar with the district procedure, the use of SIMS, which is where we record all of our immunizations. I certainly would be willing to look at hiring someone else. In the past, we've hired non-medical people to do the immunization entry, and we have not had good luck with that. Perhaps if we could get a better pool of people to draw from who are familiar with immunizations, all the laws that are that are required to assess whether or not a child is in compliance. Because, as you're aware, it's very, very difficult and the organizations are changing all the time. This year, in my position, I was responsible for assessing records on all students who entered the district after October 15th. And we had quite a bit of difficulty as I was training someone else. And I don't have an issue with that. I would definitely be willing to look at someone else. So my question again is, this position is for the summer months only, for this year. For this year, yes.
And the reason we're doing that is because this is starting, I mean, we're trying to get this out within the next couple of days upon board approval to start for this coming school year. Otherwise, we'd have to wait a whole other year. So this is, as we went through leadership team and the Student Achievement Board Committee, we formulated this response as a result of some of their discussions and their concerns.
This is the second reading.
Second reading.
Anita brought this up 2 meetings ago, I believe, and she was talking about the importance of getting these kids immunized before. We don't want them in school for 2 months, because that's something that
And I agree with that.
could be really dangerous to the existing students that are immunized. So I think it's critical that we
So can it be amended so that it is very clear in the policy that it's for this year only? So that the policy is changing the date from October 15th to the first day of school. That's just how we would implement
Implemented this year.
How we would address not having the classrooms empty on the first day of school because children don't have what they need. We want a nurse to assess those records over the summer. Once the concern was brought up by the principal that schools are closed, nurses are out of buildings, and parents are going to be flocking into schools for their shot records. They don't know whether or not it's complete. So our answer was we will provide a nurse 3 half-days a week during those 2 months in the summer to assess the records and let them know if they're okay now or not.
We can bring back our findings on looking at a different salary for personnel to the board. The board report as it stands asks for implementation process, and that's what we're providing, but we certainly can bring back to you amendments in how we are doing that assistance during the summer. But it doesn't, none of this is written in policy, it's only a date change in the policy.
is that the only change from the second reading?
Yes.
Identical.
And what Mrs. Jenkins is referring to is our attempt to explain to the board what fiscal impact this change will have on the district and what will be the source of funds for this year only.
Okay, any further discussion? Thank you very much for your explanation. We'll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.